there I was. I was thinking about what was in my fridge and what I could cook, and feeling a bit disappointed because there wasn't really anything, and I didn't want to go to the grocery store. And then it hit me. Have you ever kind of, like I said, looked at the fridge, you've opened it, you're not really seeing much food, many ideas. Open your shelves, kind of similar thing where you can't just see how it all gets put together. And the easy way out, like I know because I felt this many times, is to say, oh, I'll just go to the groceries and I'll get some stuff. And then you kind of come back and then you realize, after the shop that you've done, if it's a bigger one or a smaller one, you realize there's actually not a lot I can do with this, or I don't really have a lot of meals from this, and it can kind of feel a bit disappointing. So the kind of thing I want to share with you is how I was able to go from feeling uninspired, disempowered, to saying, whoa, I feel full of energy, and like I've actually can achieve this, and can start to put together in my mind so many dishes that I can cook with what I've already got. It's kind of like feeling grateful for what you have and then just taking that to another level, because I'm like trying to save money with what I cook, so I don't go out, and get groceries as much, and just trying to really think creatively to kind of push myself when I can. So I'm not always cooking the same thing, but somewhat experiment, which takes us to how I was able to do it, right? And this is super easy, very actionable. You have to start with closing your eyes, right? And then get a piece of paper out and a pen. I have that at the ready, but as you close your eyes, start to go through like what you remember of what's in your kitchen and in your pantry and in your garage if you store food in there, like non-perishables. Think of what's your canned goods. Think of start to go through that. Think of your spices. Start thinking of that stuff, right? Like what oils do you have? Do you have like butter to cook with, like stuff like that, right? And that's when it hit me. I started thinking, well, actually, I've got some red split lentils dried, and I've got some yellow split lentils. The red split lentils aren't enough, but if I combine them with the yellow split lentils, some onions and some garlic and some spices, I can make a dal out of this, which is kind of like an Indian lentil curry type of thing. Okay, cool, dal. And then I've always got rice. I've got I think about 6 kilos of rice at the time, right? So right there's a meal. Okay, so I've actually finished then all my dried lentils, right? Awesome. And then I thought, okay, I can do that. What else? What else can I do, right? And then I thought, ooh, I've got some dried red kidney beans, right? And so with that, I know I've got some dark chocolate. I've got some spices. I've got some coconut milk. Although I didn't end up using it, but I was able to make a Mexican like chili. And I had even less than what the recipe said. I didn't have like tomatoes, so it made it really hard. But I still made it. It was actually really nice. Of course, I soaked the beans because they were dried, and then I cooked them for over an hour, so this sauce really thickened, and it was just really fun, right? Okay, so there's two meals right there. And then I remembered I had some spaghetti, and of course I've got some garlic and chili powder and a bit of butter, some like I might be able to melt that and kind of do like an aglio olio. Then I had this like fermented like the bean, which is kind of like mimicking an anchovy. So I kind of added that to it. Had it the other night. That was pretty good as well. Like that's like another meal. And then I thought, well, what else can I do? Well, how far can I actually push this? And that's when I kind of went crazy and like lit a fire under my ass and like started thinking like, okay, what else? Okay, we've got some frozen veggies. So I can soak some more white dried beans that I've got, and I can do like a soup, right? Kind of like a veggie soup with that. So it's like got that going. I'm like, oh, I'd like some pasta with that, but I don't have any pasta. Oh wait, I do. I've got some like lasagna sheets that are just dried. So if I maybe crack them up, that can kind of be like a bit of pasta in that soup to thicken it up and kind of add like a bit more texture and flavor to that. I was like, okay, cool. Now we start to get some, like I'm finishing lasagna sheets. Like it's nuts. And the thing is, it's stupid, but like because it's stuff that you've already got, I think as a guy, it feels like a victory where it's like you don't have to go out and get groceries. But the challenging thing is to think about food and how to combine it in such a way that you've got like a meal. And it's not easy. Like I think living by myself really helps me to kind of push that because it falls on me, that accountability and ownership. And it is kind of tempting to say, I'm just going to get takeout, I'm just going to go do this. And it's, you know, but I think that extra layer of muscle and really challenging yourself really allows you to kind of see how this starts coming together. And then I was thinking, okay, well, what else can we make, right? Okay, so then I remembered I had some frozen stir-fry veggies, right? Like a whole 500-gram bag. Okay, I can do that, like type of stir-fry sauce, like my wok, got some spices, like do a bit of a slurry sauce with that, and then boom, I've got rice. There's another like big meal as well. Okay, that's starting to do good. What else can we do? Okay, I've got some dried vermicelli noodles. I know I've got some textured vegetable protein, which is kind of like these like soy chunks that are like, they almost look like mincemeat, but dried and like, it's hard to explain. You can kind of soak them in some type of like stock, and that just really gives it so much flavor. So I might be able to kind of do that, and like a little bit of another stir fry, or just some type of maybe soup with that or something, as I'm thinking about it now. But I'm sure there's something put together, maybe with some ginger or whatnot. I'm just kind of, you know, freestyling here. And then I'm like thinking, okay, I've got 500 grams of penne pasta. I'm gonna do this one or two ways. I can do a pasta alla vodka because I've got vodka. Don't have any tomatoes or tomato paste or that, but I know I've got gochujang, which is kind of like a red chili paste. And maybe if I add some butter and maybe like coconut milk, and I have coconut cream, like I might be able to get something going here. Or still use the penne and then use like dried mushrooms to either do like, say, if it's possible, stroganoff, or a like miso pasta, because I've got lots of white miso paste and butter. So I might be able to make that happen. And then like, okay, I've got some canned red beans. I can do another set of like Mexican or some type of like cumin seeds, like stir fry, you know, red kidney beans, sorry. And then I remembered, okay, I've got some canned chickpeas. Okay, I can do a sweet and sour chickpeas, which I did tonight, and it was so yum. It was so easy to make, right? And I had all the ingredients, although I had to kind of go through 3 or 4 recipes before I could find one. I'm like, okay, I've got all these ingredients, and boom, made it happen. I had tasted it. It was so yum. So it's like, yes, goals, right? And then I've also got like last thing I can make from memory, no, second to last, I've got some dried chickpeas. I can soak them and do like a chana masala, because I've got the chana masala mix, and I've got some like garlic. I don't have onions, but I'll figure it out. And then of course add that with rice. And then I think the final thing I can think of is I've got frozen spinach. I've got that TBP again, and then I know I have coconut milk. It's like a Filipino dish where it's kind of like combines those 3 things. I don't know exactly what it's called. Is it pinakbet? Anyways, I've got to remember that. And I can do that and then add rice on the side, so it's like another dish. And so I guess the point of all this is to show, 1, it's achievable, 2, the versatility of having dried beans in the house, because dried beans are fantastic. Bonus tip though, if you've got dried beans, you'll never cook them, I find, because they take too long. So what you do is get a pressure cooker, because then if you soak the beans, pressure cooking only takes 20 minutes or 20-25 minutes, assuming that you soak. 50 to 55 minutes if you don't. But like the point is that like that frees you up, right? Then you can like cook multiple things at once. And it's a good investment. Get a pressure cooker. It's super easy to use. Like you can't mess it up. But the point that I'm trying to get at is we need to start conquering a mountain that we know, which for me would be making dal, because I just make it so many times, and it's so easy, and I don't have to think, and it's like really healthy. I can add frozen spinach to it as well. It starts to get the momentum going, and it helps you to, I guess, conquer the rest of what's in in your cupboard, your pantry, your fridge and everything, your freezer too, right? And then you'll start to see this long list, and it's like, holy crap, I can cook all this and look at these options. Now, of course, you kind of do then need to have a bit of a, a base of food that you can make and cook, right? And then just the other day, like for example, like wanted to make pizza. I was like, I can go get the dough from the store. It's $8. I'm like, no, I can make this dough myself. I just need flour, a bit of olive oil, salt, and yeast. I've got plenty of yeast. So I was like, oh, I'll make it. And it was like so empowering again to just like be accountable and just make it. It was like this awesome pizza with like potato and rosemary, like oil on top. It's like, oh, so yummy. So like, that's the thing. Like, cooking feels different when you take you take a couple of ingredients and you make something really yummy for yourself. It just makes you feel so proud and just so secure and just strong in yourself to know that you can do it. You are an adult. You are someone that can think creatively. And of course, it is tricky. You need to, have some recipes that you can cook with relative ease, that you know exactly what's in it. And then everything else you can kind of figure out. The more dishes that you cook, the more like soups, pastas, curries, stir fry, like the more other types of soup, the more stuff you cook, the more you'll kind of be able to see, like, if I've got enough spices, I can do anything. Like, that's again why I've got a lot of confidence, because I've generally tried to get, bigger quantities of spices. So I've got like a lot of cumin, garlic powder, onion powder, paprika, like all these things to help make the process of cooking easy, because you're just prepared, right? Bit of a random video, like I haven't really talked about food, but I really do like food. So if you like this, subscribe, ask some questions about food. Maybe you'd like to see me prepare these meals. I can put the photo of the sweet and sour into the thumbnail, as you probably see, is what I'm thinking of doing. And like I said, I can have me cooking. I can talk about more food I like to cook, what I eat to fuel my efforts and effectively conquer life, what's easy for me, what saves me lots of money. I eat in a way that is quite cheap but also extremely satiating. Other tips and tricks I use when cooking, to like what cooking utensils to use, like what I really enjoy using. All this stuff I'm more than happy to talk about. So again, let me know what you guys think. And I kind of want to inspire you as a guy to think, you know what, if I can cook, you can cook. And I believe cooking something that you can give to yourself, which is fantastic. You can give to loved ones, you can cook for friends, and you'll need to eventually cook for your family, right? So why not start now and just really get good at cooking, right? Or challenge yourself, like, one way to, another element of conquering a mountain and conquering life, right? So if you kind of want to get more into cooking, or for example, you're not sure what to cook, or you're not very confident, like, of course, you might have a lot of questions. I'm happy to work with you to build up your confidence in terms of what I went through. So if you click the link below, there's a coaching consultation in which you can pick the time that works for you. It has accountability. You can ask as many questions as you want. You can say you've got certain goals, or you haven't cooked before, or you're looking to cook, or all these things, and I can help you work towards that. Alternatively, if you want to find a way to save money when going to the grocery store, to effectively pop out and pop back and kind of feel amazing, I ride my bike a lot everywhere pretty much, and kind of that allows me to do a pretty decent grocery shop and put a lot of stuff in my backpack, right? So to do so, I explain the bike to get and all that in my ebook Life Cycles. That's also in the link below. You'll be able to see what bike to get, how to save money, what clothing, like safety gear, training off the bike, eating as well, like what I recommend and what I recommend you eat. Like all these things can help you with your cooking journey to get you along. So I do appreciate you listening into this one. It's a bit of a different one, but I just felt so inspired, and I kind of want you to close your eyes, pen and paper, And next time you think I have to go to the grocery store, stop for a sec, think of what you have, start putting some stuff in motion and start writing it out, and you'll be like, holy crap, I can actually, I don't yet have to go, I can delay this a bit more. Like, gives you confidence, empowerment, save money. You feel amazing. You feel like you are conquering the mountain and you're conquering life. Thanks.